Hey everybody, and welcome to the first episode of 20s on Trending. My name is Dan, and I'm joined here with Olivia and Deeraiya. And this is our new series on I Feel Like Learning, where we're just gonna go through all of the trending topics of the week, talk about them. We probably don't know a ton either. We'll just kind of talk about what happened. This keeps us informed. Maybe if you're listening, it'll keep you informed too. So hopefully this will be a fun experience. So I assume that you probably know me, Olivia or Deeraiya, but in the off chance that you don't, I guess we can just do brief introductions. So, like I said, my name is Dan. I'm a 20-year-old or 20-something-year-old college student. Um, I'm a biology major. That's why I do another show called Learning Biology on this channel. And yeah, I kind of keep up with some trending topics. I have Twitter, I get CNN alerts, things like that. So I'm kind of informed.
Hey everyone, it's Olivia. I just turned 21 and I'm currently a junior right now, studying a self-design major, part poli-sci, part philosophy, part classics. Hoping to go to law school in the next year. I like to look at the news a lot, and I'm really into pop culture.
I'm Deeraiya. I'm 21. I'm studying political science and religion, and I also am planning to go to law school. I think I keep up with the news via TV and sometimes Twitter, but that's not always accurate. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we can just get right into it. So I think that the way that we're going to kind of section this kind of new series off is we're going to talk about some current events that happened. Then we're going to go into any new things related to science, things like that. And then we're going to probably close with just some pop culture stuff. And I think that our pop culture stuff is pretty good today. So I definitely say stick to the end to hear that. But I guess just starting with some like general current events. I feel like the biggest thing that happened this week, at least in my mind, is just the whole like winter storm in Texas right now. Like,
Yeah, we definitely have some snow over here on the East Coast, but it's very intense right now in the middle of the country in a bunch of states.
mhm.
Um, but in Texas specifically. And like I've seen on Instagram and just like on New York Times, like people's pipes are like completely frozen, and
Oh my
those
God.
who, yeah, like don't have um, gas stoves, like they can't keep warm at all. Um, and right now the government is kind of lacking in aid, which is awful. Um, yeah, it just seems like a mess right now over there.
Yeah, I read this article that was like this 11-year-old boy in Texas saw snow for the first time and was playing in it, but then he like died that same day
Oh
because
my
his house
god.
was so
What?
cold.
I
Yeah,
did
like
not
people are
hear about
dying.
this.
They're dying because of hypothermia.
I saw people died. I didn't know the ages. Oh my god.
Yeah, I did not know about that. I don't want to call any of this like fun, but I saw more of just like the kind of new stuff for that Texans probably haven't really experienced in a while, like just a bunch of cars sliding down the road
Mhm.
and like people trying to like get into their cars, but like there's ice covering the whole thing. And obviously, we hope that everything goes well for the people of Texas over the next coming days, weeks, however long this lasts.
Yeah.
But another thing that kind of happened with that this week that I saw was that one of the senators from Texas, Ted Cruz, he was photographed going on a trip to Cancun with his family in the middle of this. Obviously, that got a lot of backlash. People were kind of upset with that because Texas is going through one of its worst weather crises that it's ever gone through in recent history. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he came back like that night, maybe, or like the next day, something like that, because of the backlash.
Yeah, he came back. I think he wanted to stay through the weekend, but then he came back and was like, yeah, like my daughters wanted to go to Cancun. So like we went, but that doesn't make any sense because like if I tell my mom I want to go to Cancun, that doesn't just happen.
Mm-hmm.
I
Did
mean,
you
I
guys,
guess we're not
sorry,
rich though, so that's different.
did you both see that he also left his dog at home without any heat or
His dog
anything?
named Snowflake, ironic.
Yeah, but like, oh my god, on top of everything else. And if he was planning to have like a couple days away from home, just leaving their dog locked up in their house. How much worse can you get?
I mean, definitely a lot of problems associated with that. I don't want to
Yeah.
get too into the political aspect of
Mhm.
that, but I don't know. Like, if these things, I mean, the media says that they're all true, but if these things are actually true, I just don't really understand why some people would continue to vote for that. But that's
Like,
just me.
if we were going through Hurricane Sandy in New Jersey and then Cory Booker was like, peace out, going to Cancun, you know that like he
Yeah.
would not still be senator
Mhm.
today. And like in a pandemic too. That just
reminds me,
seems
though,
wild.
of when our governor decided to go on the public beach during the government shutdown.
Well, I
you
mean,
guys
Yeah.
remember that.
he's no longer our
He
governor.
was no
That's
longer our
because he
governor.
didn't run, but then his lieutenant governor ran, whatever her name is, and she lost.
Mhm.
Probably because he was a mess.
He was on the
Yeah.
still is.
So a lot of things going on in Texas, but some other things that are going on in like a nearby state is that in Tennessee, Dolly Parton had to request the Tennessee Congress Senate representatives. I'm not really sure exactly who she was addressing.
State
Like House of Representatives.
legislature
Okay.
or something.
Anyway, she had to address them to say that she didn't want a statue of her built in front of the Capitol. So basically, Representative John Mark Windle introduced this bill last month that kind of wanted to honor Dolly Parton for like all that she contributed to the state. Obviously, Dolly Parton's a pretty good person. She's pretty selfless, does a lot of things for people in need. But Dolly's response to that was from like her actual social media and her exact statement. She said that given all that's going on in the world, I don't think putting me on a pedestal is appropriate at this time. And honestly, I feel like that just made people like her even more. She went into it later in her statement being like, maybe after I'm dead or after I'm gone, much after all of this political turmoil ends, if you still feel like that I've lived a good enough life to put a statue of me, that she would be honored. But I feel like especially her fans and just normal people alike, like I wouldn't necessarily call myself a huge fan of Dolly Parton, but I do just respect her as a person, just for everything that she does for people, and now this on top of that too.
She seems like a lovely woman from everything that's come out the past couple months. I mean, she donated for the vaccine. Like, she seems awesome, and I wish I knew more about her.
We should go to Dollywood.
That would be a great.
Dan's like, what is
Um,
Dollywood?
Do you know that? Dan?
No, it's in like, is it in Tennessee? Yes.
It's like a theme park.
I've
But-
definitely
Or
heard of it.
Dolly.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton theme park.
It's also Hannah Montana's godmother.
If it's supporting Dolly Parton, then I would for sure say let's go.
Yeah.
If enough people to listen to this, maybe I feel like learning can pay for it. But yeah, so that's what's going on kind of with current events, with Texas, Dolly Parton, all that stuff. So I guess moving into our science section of the episode, I just wanted to give a quick update on something related to COVID vaccines, because I noticed people like in my personal like inner circle have like done these things, and I've just had to been like, no, don't do this whatsoever. But basically, the CDC is warning people against taking NSAIDs before getting a COVID-19 vaccine. These are just kind of pain medications like Tylenol, Motrin, things like that. And a lot of people are taking them before they get the vaccine because I guess word's kind of getting out, not just with this vaccine, but with other vaccines, other shots, things like that, that it can hurt your arm after you take it. And the CDC is recommending and kind of warning people, don't take these pain medications before you get the vaccine. So basically, the vaccine, in order for the vaccine to be effective, you need to have a very good immune system, because the point of a vaccine is to kind of make those antibodies against the virus, and you can't make those antibodies without a strong immune system. However, pain medications and anti-inflammatories, which is what a lot of these NSAIDs, your Tylenol, your Motrin, what they are, a lot of them kind of decrease the magnitude of the immune system. So you'll have decreased immune responses. So by taking these kind of pain medications before you get the vaccine will be less effective. So the CDC is warning people not to do this, because obviously we want the vaccine to be effective so life can get back to normal. So I thought that was just a good note to put out there for everyone. Don't take pain medications before the vaccine.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. When I heard this was going to be one of our topics, I figured it had something to do with blood thinners, but yeah, like I know for certain operations and procedures you're not supposed to take NSAIDs before, but seems like a different reason for the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the first dose of the vaccine on Sunday, like the Sunday before the one where this came out, March 14th.
A week ago from today.
Yes. And like the guy he put the needle in my arm, and when he pulled it out, like there was like kind of blood, as there should be blood when someone pokes you. And he was like, there's so much blood coming out of your arm. Are you on like Tylenol or Motrin? And I was like, no. But I feel like it's not even my fault, because this man waited like a full 7 seconds before putting the Band-Aid on. So of course there's gonna be blood. But then conversely, when my mom got the vaccine, like she said that no blood came out of her arm. So I'm like, I definitely have issues. Side note.
I mean, it also could just be related to like how specifically the needle was injected, if maybe they were closer to a vessel, things like that, or if it wasn't injected exactly where it's supposed to be, things like that. It's different for every person. And then also, like you were saying too, just kind of like the level of blood in the body, it should be relatively constant, but like it can fluctuate depending on certain factors. So it's probably just based on a mix of genetic factors, environmental factors, things like that. And that can kind of cause that bleeding and things like that.
That's good to know. Everyone should get vaccinated.
Yes.
We are a pro-vaccination podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. And the CDC also says that it's perfectly fine to take painkillers after you get the vaccine, because by then your immune system is starting to kind of do the job that it's supposed to do. So it's okay to take painkillers after, but don't prophylactically take these painkillers. Prophylactically just taking it before you get the vaccine.
What does prophylactively mean?
Like taking it before you necessarily need it.
Like proactively?
Yeah, that too. I think prophylactic is a science term, but yeah.
Wow. Couldn't be me.
But another thing that happened this week relating to science is the NASA Perseverance landed on Mars. Now, I don't know a ton about that, but if someone else wants to talk about that.
Okay, so I know that it was in space, and then it was on Mars. And then there were videos, and it has a Twitter account. And there was a video of Mars, and it sounded very windy, like
and they got a picture of the sunset. But I saw the video. I didn't see it live, but I saw it afterwards, and it was very cool.
I heard that with this mission, this was the first time we ever got a high resolution colored image of like the surface of Mars. So that is cool.
I saw that, and I was listening. They were talking about, the scientists were talking about how this rover is hoping to get samples, I believe, to bring back to Earth instead of just taking the samples while on Mars.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the main mission is like an astrobiology type thing. So like they're looking for like ancient like signs of microbial life or like bacteria, things like that. And I guess because obviously we are kind of looking to expand, I guess, a little bit out of Earth, like out of this world, literally.
Why would that be obvious?
Well, I don't know.
The world's kind of ending, in case you didn't know.
I feel like it would be cool if it could take a picture of like an alien on Mars, and then we could be like, hey.
And they would say hey too.
Well, they wouldn't know English.
Hot take, Deeraiya thinks there's aliens on Mars that don't know English.
There could be aliens anywhere.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows what we're going to find. I hope that they find some cool ancient bacteria, maybe some microbes, things like that, because that'll show that, oh, life can be on Mars. And it'll be even cooler if they find some living things that maybe don't follow the laws of our living things right now. So I don't know.
That's where it gets a little mind-boggling for me. Yeah, I heard a really cool perspective by a science fiction writer who said he really doesn't like how we are so preoccupied about expanding and going to new planets. He would rather, instead of us thinking, oh, when the world ends, we're going to go to Mars or wherever, we should just try to fix the Earth because it
Honestly,
really is awesome.
that's a
Wouldn't
really
it be
good way to put
cool
it.
if we could and like corporate greed didn't exist?
Yeah.
Much to consider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you guys had any other cool science things that came about during the week, do you guys want to move into pop culture?
We don't know science. Go pop culture.
So I think Deeraiya was pretty excited about our first thing that we wanted to talk about in pop culture. So if you want to
Excited to hear
take it
this.
away.
Are we talking about Claudia Conway? Is that what it is?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes.
So she auditioned for American Idol.
Who
and
is
no
Claudia
one knew.
Conway?
Oh, she's Kellyanne Conway and George Conway's daughter, who like says she's progressive and stuff, and like also came out evidence of Kellyanne Conway like verbally and physically abusing her. But then she was on American Idol.
And also her parents were on Idol as well with her.
But her mom was there virtually, so I'm just and like Claudia didn't seem that excited to see Kellyanne. She was just like, "Hey mom, love you."
Well, like her dad was there in person, right? But
Yeah.
then like her mom was like a video call or something like that.
Yeah. You know.
And she's not a fan of either of them, even though her father seems to be better than the mother.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
Who knows though?
Yeah.
I'm just confused. Like, was this a publicity stunt, or like is this trying to reconcile something? Like is she on American Idol to be like famous, or is like Kellyanne trying to make this go away? And like, is Claudia Conway safe? Like,
well, I think
don't have like any answers.
I think that you brought up a good point before we started recording. We were kind of planning out the episode. Was that when was this specifically filmed? Like, because I feel like those abuse allegations came out kind of recently-ish, like within the past couple months or so. But it's like, if this was filmed like 6-7 months ago, like, did they just not have time to kind of change it up, or like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe they didn't want to, because it was looks more positive on their family at that point.
And maybe ABC was like publicity. But then I was reading some tweets, which like obviously are not proven, but it was just speculation. Like maybe Kellyanne called ABC, not like so directly, but maybe Kellyanne was like, "Hello, ABC, put my daughter on your show so we can look happy." But like, who knows? Yeah. Also, I do not think that her audition was good enough to get through. That's my opinion. She's not awful, but like, the type of person who's supposed to get on American Idol can like actually sing in a way that's beyond like being in the ensemble for your high school production of God.
How specific. No, yeah, I definitely agree though that like definitely a good singer, like definitely can sing better than me, but like
I don't know.
Who knows? But I
She's
feel
also
like
really young.
Is she? How old is she?
I think
16.
she's 16 or 17.
Oh yeah, true. But she is a minor because that was the whole thing.
With the
and then didn't Kellyanne like leak her nudes or something? Wasn't that a thing?
That's another thing that happened. I don't think there was ever like an answer to what happened.
Like, was it an accident? Was it on purpose?
Was it hacked? I don't know.
And why did she have like whatever? I don't know, man. I just hope that they're okay.
Yeah.
I hope that it all works out for Claudia, that hopefully she's happy doing Idol because even if she didn't sound so great, she still made it through. So hopefully she does well and isn't bullied or anything like that.
Lionel Richie is so fake. he was like, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Talking about Lionel Richie.
Oh my god, Olivia,
his daughter Sophia Richie, which connects, of course, to Scott Disick, who once was married, or no, I'm sorry, once had children with.
Well, they're still alive.
They still have children with Kourtney Kardashian, who is the sister of our next topic. Kim Kardashian is getting
West.
divorced from Kanye.
What a transition.
I am invested, guys. You can't tell.
So,
Yeah.
what do you know about Kim and Kanye?
Okay.
They were together. They got married in like 2014 or something.
When
And
she was pregnant, I believe.
Was she
Sure.
pregnant?
I think so.
I don't know. I just
But she
remember
was
that
still married to Chris Humphries, and she was about to be divorced when they started to getting together.
something.
Which doesn't matter, but
I liked when
context.
they got engaged and everyone was like watching it and it was magical. And then I
Stadium.
was like, oh, they're getting divorced. So
But they lasted a while for Hollywood
yes.
couples.
I mean, yeah, sure.
I guess. But like who knows, like sure they lasted a while, but who knows like how close they actually were like when they were married. Because I always saw that like meme on like Twitter and Instagram where it would be like, especially every Halloween, it would be like a whole family picture. But then Kanye would always be in like a full body costume with like a mask on, and everyone was like, "That's not Kanye."
Yeah, like how do you convince Kanye West to get into a dinosaur costume?
I'm really fascinated by Kanye's recent presidential run. And I was talking to you guys before this. I found it really insightful, I guess you could say, that all of the Kardashians seem to be really happy by Biden's win. And then when he was officially inaugurated, having blue hearts, even though Kanye does not seem to be a Biden supporter and was also his opponent.
I mean, yeah, he's not a Biden supporter. He was a Trump supporter, and then he was his own supporter, and then he disappeared.
Yeah, couples can have varying political beliefs, but I think you really don't see that often.
Okay, varying political beliefs is one thing, but how often do you see a husband running for president and a wife not supporting it when she would be the first lady? That's crazy.
I know when Kanye announced that he was running for president, Kim didn't even say anything. All she did was she retweeted the tweet and like added an American flag emoji.
I think she also said at one point that like Kanye needed like medical help.
Yeah, she was saying something like everyone be respectful, and if you have someone with like bipolar disorder in your family, like you know how it is or something like that. And then everyone on Twitter was like, just because you're bipolar doesn't mean that like
you're running for president.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll talk about this next week too if more comes out of the woodworks about that.
But yeah, so officially now it is official that they are getting divorced. Before it was rumors for a while, and
well, I wish the best for both of them. I hope that he especially gets the help that he needs if he does in fact need these things, and I do just hope that they end up happy, I guess.
Do what's best for the kids too, because they have 4 young children.
Definitely.
He really just got her a Robert Kardashian hologram for her birthday that said Kanye is the best husband or whatever, and now they're getting divorced right after her dad said, you know, like it's just such a weird thing to happen.
Yeah.
Wild.
He's a weird guy. Talking about weird things.
Olivia with these transitions.
That was a terrible one, and I apologize to all our listeners. But yeah, Dan and I have been really invested in WandaVision, which has been coming out for the past couple of weeks and is still currently going. We have a couple more episodes, but
I think that I'm just gonna throw it out there that if you haven't watched WandaVision or if you don't want it spoiled, anything like that, I'd recommend maybe logging off of this video right now, clicking away. So if that is you, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week for another episode of 20s on Trending. And but I guess Olivia and I are very excited by this show.
Oh, I'm so into it. Oh my God.
I'm also very do you watch it when it comes out at like 3 a.m. Eastern on Disney Plus?
I was going to, and thankfully I didn't watch it this last time because another, I guess, kind of newsworthy thing, Disney Plus crashed because so many people were logging in to watch WandaVision. I usually watch like during the day on Friday.
That's what I do too. I watch Friday morning, afternoon, somewhere in there. I guess if you are still listening, but you don't know what WandaVision is, WandaVision is a new installment. It's a new series on Disney Plus, and it's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the MCU. The series kind of follows Scarlet Witch, played by Elizabeth Olsen, and the Vision, played by Paul Bettany. And it's kind of, I don't really know how to describe it, the entire
It's
overview
after
of the
the
show.
events of Endgame.
Yes.
And I mean, when they were promoting the show, they were kind of showing that we're going to go through various stages of television history and kind of go into the different decades and all the influences they had. Obviously, when you get more into it, you see like an actual story and a plot that is much more Marvel superhero related. I mean, for someone like me, where I get really like fangirly, like this is the perfect show for me. There's so many Easter eggs all the time, and I haven't read the comics, but I think for those who are fans of the original stories, they are really, really happy with what's been coming out.
I agree. I also haven't read the comics, but I haven't seen really a single person who is disappointed by the show.
And especially because I think this is like the longest break we've had in Marvel content for a very long time. I mean, I think like before COVID, I think we had like a couple of movies and there's been a big break. So I was happy to get back to these characters.
Because Black Widow was supposed to come out last May, but that keeps being delayed. That's a whole nother thing.
I think, Doctor Strange was supposed to come out closer.
Same with the Eternals.
Yeah.
So I guess here's your last warning. If you don't want the most recent episode 7, Breaking the Fourth Wall spoiled, definitely click off now. But I guess, Olivia, shocking revelations this episode. Maybe not shocking if you've been keeping up with theories, but like if you're just a casual viewer, shocking revelations.
Oh yes. I got very giddy by the ending. If that's what you're referencing, I guess we could just say it.
Yeah, I think last chance to leave if you don't want it spoiled.
Okay, what was the ending? I don't watch this show.
So we have this one character who comes in as like the friend, the neighbor. It's revealed that she's like the bad guy the whole time. It was Agatha all along. She has a fun villain song too.
I feel like everyone kind of knew that she was a villain just because of the comics, things like that. Also, her original name was Agnes. Her villain name is Agatha Harkness. So it's like Ag and then the Ness from the first and the last name kind of put together. But aside from that, I feel like Marvel took it one step further, like Olivia said, by giving her this song. I feel like I'm seeing this song everywhere now, like on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter.
I love the commitment they have in this show to be weird and to do like honestly what fandom-y stuff. So Deeraiya, who doesn't watch the show, I'll explain a little bit. Each episode, for the most part, kind of goes through a different decade. This was the 2010, so it was the Modern Family-esque episode, which I love. This was like the one show that I really got all the references. Because this was the show I watched growing up. And there's a lot of funny jokes and stuff like that. Another fun thing Deeraiya wouldn't know, and anyone who doesn't watch the show, they have commercial breaks in between. And the commercials are very important for like Easter eggs and plot.
But so they're commercials in the show?
Yes. They're fake commercials.
Because the whole... So I guess just a little background now that we've given, like we're clearly in spoiler zone right now. So basically the first 3 episodes to the viewer, it would just, you thought you were just watching this random sitcom type TV show with starring Wanda and Vision. But then you find out in episode 4 that this is a TV show that's actually being broadcast in a real life location. It takes place in Westview, New Jersey, which isn't a real town. But basically we find out that Wanda or someone has basically taken control of this town, kind of is holding people hostage just to kind of create the reality, the perfect reality that she wants. So we find out that there's this broadcast signal coming out of the town that another old character from Marvel, Darcy Lewis from the Thor movies, she
Woo!
kind of
discovers
it, and they kind of hack into this broadcast, and they see that WandaVision, the show that we've been watching for the past 3 weeks, is an actual television show that then these actors outside of this false reality can also watch.
Yeah, and what Dan was saying, like, Wanda takes over this town, so all the people in it are, we assume at the moment, are being mind controlled to an extent by Wanda to perform in these roles. And what was really cool, I think episode 6 kind of went into this with Vision kind of exploring the town, because he doesn't really understand what's happening. He's trying to figure it out. We see these people, and this is what like really freaks me out, honestly. We see these people who are like kind of frozen or like doing repetitive motions because they're just waiting for their part of the story to go. And honestly, Deeraiya, you're doing exactly what someone does.
Deeraiya's doing like mime-esque movements.
Well, there's this one woman who's like putting up her like laundry repeatedly, taking it off and putting it on, and you see a single tear go down because she's like frozen in her body. And that gets me. But
Yeah.
I still don't think Wanda's the big bad.
Do you think that Agatha's the big bad though?
I don't think so, because like I feel like the reveal is going to be the big bad for Doctor Strange as well.
Because Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, Elizabeth Olsen will be starring alongside Benedict Cumberbatch in the second Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch and who?
Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch.
Oh, from Mary-Kate and Ashley, but not them.
But not them, the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she would like that you called her.
Yeah, she wants to be her own person.
Yeah.
But that's another thing.
But yeah, I don't think Agatha is the true big bad, but I think she's related to.
Maybe working in cahoots with someone.
Yeah, like she keeps referencing her husband Ralph when she was Agnes. I wonder if this Ralph guy is going to be the real bad guy.
We're going way long, but I want to bring up 2 more things about this because, like Olivia, I'm also very excited about the show. Okay, where are the twins? What happened to them?
Where are the twins? Okay, we saw the rabbit and we saw like a bug. I don't know. Some people think that might be the twins, but I've heard other rumors that say that the fly thing is the bad guy.
I've heard rumors because, okay, so if you're deep into like the WandaVision, not even deep, I feel like just regularly, if you have looked up at single WandaVision theory, the big theory is that Mephisto, who's kind of Marvel's devil, is the big bad. And apparently Mephisto can kind of turn into a fly, and we see a fly when she enters Agatha's house. It
kind of looks like a cicada though, but everyone's kind of assuming it's a fly. Be Mephisto. And I've heard that Mephisto is supposed to be like equal to like Thanos' power, which kind of gets me really into what's going to happen in the future. I still think the multiverse is going to be like the real next. Are we in phase 4?
Yeah, this was the first thing in phase 4.
So yeah, I think the multiverse is going to be like the big part of phase 4 and potentially phase 5 as well.
Well, I saw that, you know how the commercial was about those Nexus pills?
Yes. Oh, apparently, I read about this too.
Apparently the Nexus is like the center of the multiverse or something like that in the comics.
I read it's like the connection point.
Oh, yeah, yes. You're
and
right.
that like Wanda mechanically, and I think Vision might be as well in the comics, are Nexus in the universe.
And then that connects is then okay, sorry, going really Marvel fanboy right here. But then the TVA, the Time Variant Authority, kind of monitors the Nexus, and we see in the Loki trailer, which is another series coming out in May, that Loki is imprisoned by the TVA. So it's all connecting. But
also, what is like, is Evan Peters still his Quicksilver from the X-Men series now? Or do we think they just took this actor, knowing what we would think? But
I think they took the actor, honestly, at this point.
That made me a little disappointed, honestly, seeing that he was, I don't know if he's working with Agatha or if he's being controlled by Agatha, but I want to see where it's going.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to know, are the twins alive now? Were they ever alive?
Yeah,
like, because
that's scary too.
we all know that eventually they're going to come back because Marvel is gearing up for like a Young Avengers type thing. They're introducing them in a bunch of new things like Hawkeye, the new Black Widow,
Hawkeye's
things like
daughter.
that. Yeah. The new Ant-Man daughter.
Yeah.
So
the new actor. Yeah.
Lots of stuff with that. So we know that they're going to be back eventually, but I'm just wondering, like, right now in the timeline, what's up with them?
And Deeraiya, to explain a little bit, Wanda has these twin boys who we know at this point have superpowers. One of them's like her, and one's like her twin brothers, power-wise. But I wouldn't really consider them like human. Like, okay, they're born as babies, and then they just grow up into 5-year-olds, and then they decide to grow up to 10-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
You mean like Renesmee?
like Renesmee, but they have control over it.
Like Renesmee on crack.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly like that. But like Dan said, I think they're gonna be big. They're gonna be like main figures in the upcoming phases, and I think we'll eventually see them grow up into teenagers. Because right now they're still 10.
I'll be surprised if that, like, I'll be surprised if we don't see their full like normal actors by the end of the show.
I agree.
And then also, I guess last huge thing that happened this episode was that Monica got her superpowers.
Yes, how could we forget this part? And they called back to Captain Marvel with a bunch of dialogue. Did you see that, Deeraiya?
What?
Have you seen Captain Marvel?
Oh, like no.
Okay.
The end of the series is going to be trying to make Deeraiya a Marvel fan.
I've seen a few movies, and I've met the Russo brothers, so you can relax.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
I have a picture with I have a picture with both of them, but one of them's a real picture, and the other one is like a bad, like we're all walking around picture.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, but we see Monica go through the hex. This is now her third time going through the hex, and we found in the last episode that all of her cells were getting rearranged because of that. Yeah. But now, I guess this last time she goes through, there's a huge like cinematic montage. You hear all the dialogue from the past Captain Marvel movie, and then she comes out. Her eyes are glowing bright blue. She can see all of the electromagnetic radiation, all the energy around her,
and she could see like Wanda's power is making reality kind of switch to whatever she wants. She's able to see what it actually is.
Yes.
I don't think I explained that well, but she can see reality while Wanda has been distorting reality over this time.
So it'll definitely be interesting because we know that Monica's coming back in Captain Marvel 2. Yes. So I have a feeling that for the last 2 episodes of the show, yes, Monica will be in it, but we probably won't focus too much on her powers and all that. But I am excited for Captain Marvel 2 when Monica will have more of a starring role in that.
I really like her character right now.
I do too.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Is there anything else from this episode that we wanted to talk
the very ending, we found out Agatha killed Sparky.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Sparky a dog?
Yeah, dog killer.
Oh my god, you mean Ted Cruz?
Okay.
That would have been a great bridging point.
Honestly, what a good like full circle moment. And with that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching this episode of 20s on Trending. If you're still listening, honestly, congrats if you made it through my whole WandaVision tangent. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week where we're going to be talking about a whole new slew of trending topics, including the next WandaVision episode, because this is basically a weekly thing now, which leads into show after show. So you'll hear us talking about Marvel forever. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or whatever, definitely let us know in the comments. Links to everything's in the description. And yeah, thanks guys. Thank you for watching this episode of 20s on Trending. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our new releases. New episodes of 20s on Trending will be available every Sunday. Also be sure to check out other content from I Feel Like Learning, as well as all the other I Feel Like productions. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep staying informed, and keep on learning.